So guys, welcome back to Black Mountain Stables. We are over here trying to feed up our cows. We've got just a little bit of silage left here in the bunker. And I think we probably got about 3 or 4 loads of silage. So we're just going to go ahead and see if we can't maybe get some of that mixed up. Get our cows fed up and get this bunker emptied out. We've got ourselves a busy day ahead of us. One of the reasons I want to get this bunker emptied out is I want to use the telehandler here to go ahead and fill up our manure spreader so we can go ahead and get the wheat fields fertilized, because we got those done the other day. Or Patrick got those done the other day when I was busy helping out the neighbor with the potato harvest, which, as you can see by our bank account, that potato harvest was quite lucrative. Alright, so the way I've been mixing up our power food is I've been doing 2 scoops of silage, which gives us about 5,000 liters of silage in our mixer. And then I've been adding about 4,000 liters of straw, thereabouts, as best I could measure out, and then filling the rest up with hay. So if we pull up here, we got 5,200 liters of straw. So I try to go to about 9,000 or so, right about there, and then we'll fill up the rest with hay. Oh my. We just put slurry on there the other day, and now we got weeds all throughout our field. Guess we're going to need to come through here with a weeder at some point. Get that taken care of. And now we've got a full load of mixed rations. Go ahead and dump that in there. And let me show you what we've got in the way of food. 332 liters of power food. And we're what? Maybe halfway? It's hard to tell if we are halfway or not. But gosh darn it. It is pretty darn close to halfway. Alright. So let's go ahead and see if we can't maybe get, like I said, I think we got about 3 loads of mixed rations here that we can get. Just check the F1 menu. 19,000 liters of silage in the bunker. Got 2,000 liters in the bucket. 2,600 liters. We put about 5,000 in with each load. So that's a little bit more than what I was thinking we would have. But it won't be long before we're able to buy that field. What was it? Field 8? No, field 3. Guess we could buy a field 8 too at some point. Let me get that dumped in there. Right. 7,000 liters. We'll go ahead and just prep this here. And once again, like I said, get about 4,000 liters of straw. and then fill the rest up with hay. We've got a fair bit of straw. We got maybe, I don't know if we got like 3.5 loads of straw off of those 2 wheat fields. Oh, that produced very well. 347,000 liters of straw. So we should be good for bedding and for power food, for straw for quite a while. And now our hay, on the other hand, we fed that down quite a bit. We only have 201,000 liters of hay at this point. I think at the height we had maybe 450,000 liters of hay. So yeah, we've used a fair bit of hay to I took that corner a little bit too sharp and smashed into it. There we go. The PTO was really dragging down the power on the tractor. Let's go ahead and dump that on in there. And let's see here. What do we got? We got 2 more loads maybe. Because we got about what, 12,000 liters in there now. So we got 2.5 loads. So let's go ahead and just finish up these 2.5 loads of mixed rations real fast. Right? Maybe have 3.5 loads maybe. Put that on in there. I mean, you know, we've been mixing a lot of mixed rations, and our telehandler has a whole hour on it, and all we've done with the telehandler is scoop silage into the mixer here. So that's 2 scoops. I'm looking forward to filling this bunker back up again. That there. Another 4,000. So while we do this, let's talk a little bit about the DLC that was announced. So I'm recording this video a little bit ahead of when it actually is going to air. And that is because I am actually going to be out of town when this is airing. But just today, well, that'll tell you when I recorded it. Just today, Giants announced a new DLC for Farm Sim 19. It's a bunch of grass work, hay equipment, silage, an interesting baler that appears to bale wood chips or poplar. It's be interesting to see how that works. And actually, I think probably, well, let me check something. Let me check the calendar. Yeah, within 2 weeks, basically we'll know kind of how all this stuff works because it will be out and about. So it's going to be an exciting next few weeks as we maybe learn a little bit more about the DLC. Maybe we'll get to see some folks with advanced copies be able to demonstrate some of this stuff. What really intrigues me about it is the inline bale wrappers. So where I'm at, lots of folks, lots of farmers will line up their round bales at the edge of the field, and then one day you'll drive by and all of a sudden you'll see those bales that were lined up at the edge of the field are now wrapped in this big long tube. And now it looks like we will have the ability to do that ourselves for our own farms, which is pretty cool. I was really looking forward to that. I was hoping that someone would come out with that capability in 17. It just never seemed to materialize. But the ability to do like a line of silage bales at the edge of the field, and then when it comes time to feed them, to be able to to have to go to the edge of the field and basically collect the bales, and then bring them back to the farmyard. That is pretty interesting, and something that I'm really looking forward to trying out. They also had some new bale transports. I've never been a real big fan of the bale stack wagons that come in game, the ones that tip up vertically. And I'm interested to give the wagons that are in the DLC a check, because a couple of them look like they are more of a horizontal unload as opposed to a vertical unload. In fact, in the equipment list, they list them as like bale stack wagons and bale movers. That's it. They list them as bale stackers or bale movers. So the bale stackers is what, when you unload them, they go vertical. But the bale movers, when you unload them, they seem to basically slide off the back of the trailer in more of a horizontal foundation. And again, that's what I'm kind of interested in looking at and messing with, because again, it's more indicative of what I see around my area. I don't really see a whole lot of vertically stacked, bale towers, if you will. Alright, so we should have one more full load, and then a half load. That should completely then empty this bunker out. Hope we can get this empty. Guess we'll know pretty darn quick. This will be the last scoop. See if we get that magical bunker is empty message. That bunker silo is empty. That is awesome. Rockhound, this is a really nice bunker that you have done up here. Oh, only 1,300 liters. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and just dump it all in here. We'll be a little heavy with our silage on this mix. Go ahead and leave that there for now. What aspects of the new DLC interest you guys the most? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. $9.99. It was the price point. Pretty decent price point in my opinion. All right, that should be about enough straw. Now let's see if we get some hay. Make those. There we go. Mixed rations. 3 bars in the green. Right on the money. That should give us productive cows for a while. Yep. We should have good productive cows for a good long time. So let's head on over here. Like I said, I want to get our telehandler and I want to get that manure done. I didn't want to do the manure before the silage bunker here was emptied. Simply because I didn't want to, well, I need to invest in a, we need to invest in a power washer. We don't have a power washer at the moment. So, you know, if I'm going to be scooping out manure, if I'm going to be scooping the poo, I really need to clean up my bucket before, you know, before we go and mix more power food. Right? Alrighty. Not really sure how many scoops this is going to take. But I do know that it's going to be a lot faster than when we did it with the loader bucket. This loader bucket took forever and a day. I mean, that was probably like, I don't know, 15 scoops. So I'm thinking this will probably be like 5 or 6 scoops. Maybe less because we already have a mound of manure showing up. I know this thing wasn't totally empty when we put it away last time. But I really like this white spreader slinger. It's pretty cool looking. I guess we are probably fairly close. Let's go ahead and check. Yep. There we are. We were close indeed. We'll go ahead and park that here, because I suspect we're going to need another load. I don't remember honestly how many loads of manure this took. But I suspect it took more than one to cover, you know, our fields. Let's open it up. Start tossing it out. We're going to cheat and bring out the drone cam so we can see where we're going here. Because it's really hard to tell in this lighting at this point in time where things are. In fact, let's see if we can't accelerate the morning. Accelerate the morning light. So you're one round and we are at 70%. It might just take one load and a part of a second load to do these two fields. Yeah, imagine. I wonder how much manure it would take to do our oat field. Wow, that's a lot more than I want to do. That's a lot of buckets. I think if I was going to do that, I'd need to invest in a belt, some type of belt system to load up the slinger. All right, well, there we go. Look at that. Didn't take long at all. All right, let's head on back over here. Well, let's load up again and then go across the street. Go across the street. What do you say about that? So back on the DLC, I have to say that you know, I don't know who had thought that I think it's Anderson. Who would have thought that the DLC would have been Anderson equipment? Would have been a bunch of basically hay equipment, grass equipment, if you will. You know, I was kind of thinking that it would be. I was kind of thinking it would be Kloss. Just because of the announcement that FarmCon in June is going to be held at Kloss headquarters. Kind of thought it would be Kloss. There were some rumors of some other brands of equipment also, but nothing. I don't think anyone had any thought process that it was going to be Anderson, or if it's not Anderson, whatever. It's another A company. But needless to say, who would have thought it was going to be a bunch of grass working equipment, hay equipment, you know, baling. But one thing that does interest me is that, like I said, that bio baler. I think in-game poplar is probably one of the least popular. Now you see what I did there. Poplar is probably one of the least popular crops in-game. And as a result, probably doesn't get used that much. Well, because it's not popular. But the concept of a baler that bales poplar into round wood chip type bales seems pretty interesting. And I have to wonder if that would pique anyone's interest in doing that crop more. Because, you know, I mean, I think one reason why it's deterred so much is the fact that it takes just so darn long to plant. I mean, poplar takes forever to put in the ground, and I've got to think that part of that time investment is some of the reason that it is not that attractive for folks. The longer it takes to put it in the ground, the longer it takes to harvest it. I think the less people are apt to want to mess with it. Kind of like sugar cane. Sugar cane seems to take forever to get planted, and it definitely takes forever to harvest. I don't. In my mind, I don't think sugarcane is really worth the time investment. In my opinion, poplar, I've only really messed with it when I had a modded seeder that I could seed faster. But still, the harvesting of poplar just takes long time. So it'd be interesting to see if the act of baling poplar into round bales is quicker than using a forage harvester in a poplar forage harvester head, and it's got to be cheaper. I mean, your only way to harvest poplar to this point was a forage harvester. Forage harvesters aren't cheap. It takes a pretty big investment to get started into poplar, so maybe these balers are going to take a little less time to do that. A little less time and money. That can go a long way into making a crop more popular. Guys, we are right up to our 30-minute time frame. I really was expecting to get a little bit more done in this video than just manure and power food. I was planning on starting to lime our oat field because it needs lime, and these two wheat fields need lime. Or at least that field over there needs lime added to it. But it looks like we are pretty much at or near our 30-minute time frame. I want to thank you guys for watching today. If you liked the video, please go ahead and click that like button. If you didn't like the video, that's fine and dandy too. Just as long as you watched it, I'm cool with it. If you've got any ideas for future episodes, let me know, because I do think we are probably nearing the end of our Black Mountain Stable series. There's only so much we can do. The map is great and everything, but just generally, I think without seasons, things start to get a little old pretty quick. I've got about 59, 60 hours on the game save at this point. I know some folks that probably have like 500 to 900 hours already on some game saves, which I think is crazy. I think my best in 17 was probably like 400 hours, maybe 300 hours on a game save. But at any rate, until next time, happy farming.